Shalom. All praise to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Ukakwadash, and double honors to the Apostle of GMS, to the bishops, to the elders, and all those sincere brethren that are laboring the truth across the world, and also to all the sincere brethren and sisters that are listening to the truth. And I pray this may be an edifying lesson to the flocks and whoever the Most High want to this message, and let it be heard. And before I begin the lesson, I will introduce the true name of the Father, which is Yahweh. And the names mean He exists. And the true name of the Son is Yahushua HaMashiach, which means the Redeemer or the Deliverer. And He's only coming to redeem His people, which is the nation of Israel, which we identify in today's age as the so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and the so-called Native Americans, which scatter on all four corners of the world and looks like the other nations and also practice the custom of the other nations. With that, that'll be it for the introductions. And however, the title of the lesson for the day is basically Cyber Pandemic Predictions. So that's what they've been predicting for the past, I'll say for the past few years, but this year specifically, they're focusing a lot on it. Actually, they're talking about like there's a potential cyber pandemic. So that's what they're predicting. So I went on and type it and see what they have for it, and let me see what I got. It says like I went on basically the chat GPT version on my phone. It says Copilot, and it says like cybersecurity experts have been warning about the possibility of a cyber pandemic, where widespread digital disruptions could cripple industries, governments, and infrastructures. And here are some key predictions for 2025. Because basically, in here, Babylon the Great, which is America, and I'll say throughout the entire Western world, everything basically relies completely on digital or electricity or computer stuff like that. So basically, almost all the main infrastructures is basically you have to access it basically digitally. So which is easiest way to basically have a lot of breach basically. And it says like key points like escalating ransomware attacks. And it says cyber criminals are expected to target critical suppliers, causing ripple effects across industries. And it says evolving identity theft, like AI powered fraud techniques, including deepfake technology, may make identity theft more damaging. Like basically fraud technique, basically identity theft and deepfake. We've seen that like a people who act like basically like somebody like in high positions. They probably use somebody to defect that person. Even like on a regular person, like you have like a random phone call, say, hey, your insurance company call you, say we have like a new policy, and you're not paying attention. You're talking to somebody. Next week you're talking to like an AI, or somebody sent you like an email. It looks like exactly like your gas bill, your car insurance, and you'd be like, okay, they say you need to send about this money, and they'll be like, oh yeah, we need you to give you your social security or your bank information. And people, a lot of time people don't even pay attention. They'll be like, agree, and just like that, people can get caught in those scams basically. And it says like involving identity theft, which is AI powered fraud techniques, including deepfakes technology, may make identity theft more damaging. And it says critical infrastructures vulnerabilities, geopolitical tensions could lead to cyber attacks on essential systems like energy grids and transportation networks. And the next one says AI powered scams. The accessibility of AI tools is expected to fuel sophisticated social engineering attacks. And the next one says like the World Economic Forum has also warned that global instability could lead to a catastrophic cyber event. So they basically can literally shut down the entire, I'll say web, and also basically power system. Like we've seen it a lot throughout the movies. Like they show you like they hack to the like a power system where they it cut like electricity for the entire nations, and sometimes you go worldwide, and then they also reboot it like via like a new system. Like we know, like especially in America, like we don't have any power outage on a daily basis. Like when you have like a storm, you probably lose electricity for maybe like 24 hours, max 48 hours to 72 hours, and after that you get the power back on. And as soon as you get a power outage, you get like a electric company come around like a 24-hour period, try to install power outage basically. Because like last week there was like a power outage, so in Boston area. I don't think it even lasts more than 48 hours. So we're not used to stuff like this in Babylon the Great, but this is the time we're coming in right now. Let me see. Within the next two, it says the World Economic Forum warned that the global instability could lead to a catastrophic cyber event within the next 2 years. So ESOS said within the next 2 years, which is 2027. With 86% of business leaders believing such an attack is possible. Well, it is possible and it will happen. But it's not, well, we just don't know exactly when. It could be the next few months, next few weeks, or within the next year. So that's it for the article I was reading. So the next one I'm going to read is basically, I'm going to get the Bible verse, which is Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 10, which is, let me get that real quick. Ecclesiasticus 2 verse let me see. Did I get that book? No, 12 I should say. 12 verse 10. Yep, so which says, never trust thine enemies. Sirach 12 verse 10 says, never trust thine enemies, for like iron, as iron rusted, so is wickedness. So basically we cannot trust our enemy, which is Esau, Edom, basically, man. So Esau is gonna bring all those things, saying like, this is like what we're predicting to happen within the next 2 years. Like, there's gonna be cyber days, there's gonna be this pandemic going on, blah blah blah. So that's why it's telling the masses, and guess what? They're gonna fall for it, man. But the only people that's not gonna fall for those kind of lies, basically the hopeful elect, man. So when he says when he says never trust thine enemies, so basically we shouldn't trust our enemies. And he said, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So his wickedness rusted like an iron. And the next one is basically Matthew 24 verse 8. So we should talk about the beginning of sorrow. So when this thing happened, all this event that Esau's predicting from the cyber, like I said earlier, from the cyber pandemic of predictions, is not just there. That's like one of many crisis that's gonna catapult during basically Jacob's trouble, man. So the scripture said, let me get that book of Matthew 24. Matthew 24 verse let me see, Matthew 24 verse 8. Yep, Matthew 24 verse 8 says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So basically, like the scripture said, all these are the beginning of sorrow, which is basically like a terrifying moment. Terrifying, which means we have like terrifying days ahead of us, man. These are not like bright days, like when you wake up in the morning, be like, oh my, like you wake up, be like, you see the beautiful sun outside, you be like, yeah, I'm gonna get ready, like go to the gym, work out, or go to work, and then enjoy, spend like go for like a half an hour walk. This is not the days that we have ahead of us, man. We have like a legit sorrow that's waiting for us, man. When I say us, I'm talking about like the world in general. But even though that are part of the hopeful, like we're gonna be within those days as well. The difference is the Most High gonna be taking care of us. He's gonna shield us. He's gonna have mercy upon us, basically. And let me see what else I got. 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11, which says basically we cannot be ignorant of Satan's devices, because that's one of those tricks that he's been using to basically fool the masses, basically. 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11. Yep, so which 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11 says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we cannot be be ignorant of Satan's devices. Because, like I said before, so when right now he said that there's gonna be like a cyber attack. So the next time it's gonna be like a, well, like the current, like I believe yesterday there's like a, I believe I can't remember. I think it might be DC. There's like a two Jewish person got shot out at maybe like an embassy. I can't remember exactly what. And it's been buzzing all day long. So this is gonna be like a bringing nothing but confusion to the population. Because like the average person like at the plantation, they're standing in front of the TV. They was like, what's going on? What does that even mean? So the people are confused. They have no clue what's going on. So this is like a all those devices that's Esau is using to basically not only to confuse the people and also to fast forward the agenda. It's gonna be like a when shit hit the fan, and people are gonna be like, hey, why are we in this situation? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And he's gonna tell you, hey, I warned you guys before. Here's what I showed you guys. I told you guys when we have that shooting, when those people got shot from the embassy, when we have the last cyber attack, when we get that storm, all those you guys voted for this. You guys signed this. You guys signed this law from here up there, and people are gonna be like, we didn't know that. And Esau's gonna be like, well, you guys should be paying attention. And that goes back to the Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 10. Like never trust thine enemies, for as iron rusts, so is wickedness. And also goes also to the book of 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11, when it says we shouldn't be ignorant of Satan's devices, because he has many devices. Like food might be like a device that he used to, like he weaponized food, like he weaponized the family against one another basically, and he weaponized nature. Satan has weaponized everything. And the next one I was gonna read is basically Revelation 13 verse 16, because like when you talk about all that cyber stuff, we had that gonna be like a cyber pandemic. Everything gonna lead down to one thing, which is the MOTB basically, man. So it's gonna put like people in a horrible situation where they have no choice but to take the MOTB, and eventually that's gonna lead to the complete downfall of the Edomite system. Because once the MOTB implemented, that only lead like to the basically the ICBM missiles that the Most High gonna send down, and basically the destruction, man. So that's basically what it led to, it's gonna lead to. Because once you have that cyber shut down, once the system kicked back in, it's not gonna be, you're not gonna have a choice like when you go to the plantation. I remember when I was younger, when I used to go to the library, like when you go to the computer, you don't really have to sign on the computer unless you're gonna be using it, because they normally give you like an hour. You put your library barcode and let you use I believe they used to let you use it for, you can use it for 1 hour back to back. However, you have to rest for an hour before you can use it again. So sometimes you just sit down reading books or do your homework or just chit chat with your friends. But then now that I came back a couple years ago, and now they usually have a computer station where you like a 15-minute station. You don't even have to log on the computer, it's just there. You just go there and use it. They just time you. But now even that station, you have to put like your identification number to use it. So something similar gonna happen, man. Once they reset that new system, you're not gonna be able to go in just to use it. They're gonna ask you, hey, whether you have the MOTB. They're not gonna ask you. They're gonna flat out tell you the only way you can use it is you have the MOTB. And if I'm being honest, when that new system kicked back in, well, I'm gonna say from my point of view is, they might be doing like cause they focus on like a lot of 50-million cities. They might not even turn on every locations. They will most likely turn on specific locations. Like I live in Massachusetts, so they most likely gonna setting up in a location that they deem 15-million cities. Like when you go to the Boston, Cambridge, like an area that they are heavy on high tech. Like if you talk about like a low income area, they ain't worrying about that stuff. The only way they're gonna take those stuff if they accept to go to those special designated areas, because Esau be working on designated areas. So those designated areas are the only areas that are gonna be having access or be online, and that's when they're gonna at first give people the option to take the MOTB. Then they're gonna force to get the MOTB, similar to what they did with the C19 situations, man. So that's where people are gonna be at, man. So that was it for the lesson, man. I pray that was another edifying lesson to the flock. Say, whoever the Most High want to this message, and let it be heard. And with that, I like to say, Shalom.